Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Friday afternoon's beer review. And I am happy to report that I've kind of finally figured out how I'm going to move forward. Like I mentioned in my New Year's resolutions. Well, it's now about the middle of February, but I mentioned in my New Year's resolutions I want to stop drinking for a while, take a step back, and kind of recalibrate how I go and allocate time to my various interests and hobbies. And I have finally come to a sort of workable conclusion that from henceforth, I am only going to be drinking alcohol on Fridays, basically for my review. So I'm going to be reviewing something today, and I'm going to be tasting something that I'm going to review next week. One can of something I'm going to be reviewing next week. If I review anything else in the meanwhile, it'll probably be like something non-alcoholic. There's one more non-alcoholic beer I wanted to review, but when I looked to go and purchase it, I realized it was like a $17 import for a sixer. So that one's going to have to wait for a little bit because, as I mentioned before, my financial situation means I only can restrict a certain amount of money to this hobby, and that kind of is a little bit too much. So now it's going to be a little bit further down the line. But what is it that we are reviewing? Well, since I'm going to be doing a reduced number of reviews and a reduced amount of drinking, I'm going to be mostly focusing on things that I know I will enjoy drinking, because why waste time on things that you know you're not going to like if you only have a limited amount of time and money to do it, you know? So I'm pretty sure that the vast majority of my reviews are going to be of things that I'm mostly give positive responses to. Because life's too short to go and just do things you don't like. I think I've been doing this long enough that I don't need to go and explore things I don't want to drink. That there's enough out there that I can just enjoy things that I know I'm going to enjoy, or at least have a pretty good idea that I think I'm going to enjoy it. I might be disappointed every now and then for various reasons, but I'm not going to go out of my way to go and get something that I know is like I'm going to be meh about, or worse yet, like spit take. So, what is it that we're reviewing? As you know, one of the things I do love is, of course, Belgian beers, and of course, this is one of the hallmarks here of the style, a Trappist ale from, the Abbey de Saint-Remy in Rochefort, Belgium. This is their number 10. I reviewed their number 8. I don't know where I can find a number 6. I'd like to go and review others of their line because I love Belgian beers. Um, you know, I really do like those traditional European beer styles. German lagers, Belgian ales, and of course, the ales of the United Kingdom. So I'm kind of going to be focusing on that. We're not going to be seeing much in the way of IPAs anymore because I don't enjoy drinking IPAs. Well, sometimes I do, but it's not like something I'm going to go and, well, I've kind of yammered on about that enough. So I think you guys get it. You know, um, nice drizzle out. So yeah, I let this out about 5 minutes ago. So kind of warm. This is, of course, 11.3 ABV. So pretty hefty. Luckily, the other beer I'm going to be previewing after I finish this review is only 4.0, so you know, um, it's not going to go and set me a kilter. And we're going to be reviewing it, of course, in the goblet. And this one goes out to my friend Erin Pangero. She loves Belgian beers, but of course, since she's like a very petite woman, she can only handle like maybe a quarter of one. So I would gladly pour out like a quarter of this bottle for her to try because this is some good stuff. Of course, this is a quadruple style. So of course, brewed with rock sugar. And as with all quadruple styles, the ABV is high enough that alcohol is part and parcel of the flavor and aroma process with this. So, without much further ado, let's get to this. I noticed that the expiration date on this is like March of 2028. So this is a fairly fresh one. Oh my. Okay, gonna just pour out the majority of this. I want some of the head to collect into the goblet here. And up into the light, well, the goblet is kind of hard to go and tell the light, but it is sort of a brown with ruby highlights, with a beige to light brown head that is thick. I've got a finger here in this goblet. Hmm. So we have stone fruit, almost milk chocolate-like notes. Kind of a nutty brown bread malt basing there, but still very sweet. So kind of like sweet brown bread. So candied fruits, candied stone fruits. Oh, nice carbonation. Overall, just a lovely smell. Some slight herbaceous notes, almost like carob or cacao. But more or less dominated by sort of sweet, malty notes. Hmm. Bread and fruit, but not really like a fruitcake sort of smell. It's just dry enough that I wouldn't say it's fruitcakey. Okay, fruitcakey, that's a new adjective. Fruitcake-like. Okay, onto the palate now, shall we? This might be a little bit too cold. Oh my, that's rich and decadent. So, oh my god, there's a lot going on there. So like I expected, it's a little bit too cold, so I'm not getting the front very well. But in the long finish, there's a slight hot bitterness and a breadiness that remains on the tongue. That clears off after a bit. It's there, but it doesn't hang around completely. It just is in the long finish, but doesn't cloy. Top note of raisins, sultanas, and brown bread, like a sweet raisin bread. Yeah, up front, I'm still not getting the finer notes up front. Like I said, I should have let this warm up a little bit more. Maybe if I hold it like this, it'll accelerate the process, you know. This is a brandy goblet, so hey, why not use the hands for that purpose? There is a booziness in the mids, but it's a very tamed booziness. There's no sharp edges to it. There's no like heat. It's more akin to a fine liquor, you know? Mm. Moderately chewy on the palate. Like I said, it's very thick, but not oily. You know, it doesn't reach the point where it's oily. Hmm. If I had a chance, if I had a chance, I'd like to go and do a side by side of like the Chimay and this. I'm probably not going to get a chance. There's a definite creaminess to it. Not really heavy like a vanilla or a milk stout kind of creaminess, but when I say creaminess, like a smoothness, um, that's slightly evocative of like the milk chocolate that I sensed in the bouquet there. Now, dried cherry like notes are emerging in the front to mids. All in all, just a wonderful play of flavors. All of them pretty well distinct from each other. You know, you can suss them out pretty well. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Pretty good, as they say on the hydraulic press channel, which is one of the channels I like to watch, which is basically just this crazy Finnish dude smashing shit with a gigantic hydraulic press. Mm. As it warms up, the perceptible sweetness is increasing, but at the same time, there's not really any cloying aspect to it. It kind of clears in the finish, not completely. You're left with that sort of nutty and bread-like notes, as well as some hot bitterness. But and in the mid palate, it is well balanced by that smooth alcohol. Excuse me. Yeah, this is quite nice. I enjoy. If memory serves, and because it's been a while since I've had Chimay Blue, this one has a bit more breadiness as a quad, and slightly less candy, rock candy sweetness to it. Probably drinking this just a bit faster than you probably should. You really want to savor something like this, but let's just go and top this off here. Make sure I didn't get any of the yeast. Yeah. Yeah, those are some really lovely, lovely candied fruit notes in the nose there. They're much more present in the nose and on the palate. They're still there, but they're just more present and bright. Yeah. Wow. Well, I wasn't expecting to be disappointed. I was expecting to have a sublime beer experience, and that's what I'm getting here. Again, this is one of those things that's a must try along the beer journey. Um, it's kind of a shame I've never had this one before, but I hope, sometime in the future I get to revisit it again, as it is a very nice beer. Basically, all the Trappist ales are nice. You can't go wrong with them by any means. So, by all means, go and get one. It's one of those must tries, unless you have a certain, um, unless you don't like Belgian ales. Myself, I adore them. From the heaviest quad to the lightest grisette. So, Trappistes Rochefort, try yourself this, Pater's beer. And that, folks, is your beer review for this Friday afternoon. I will see you next Friday afternoon for yet another review. Cheers.